Welcome to the Woodsmith Shop. The project for today's episode is this sideboard. And it's a little bit different than the normal chunky, blocky sideboard that you're probably used to. What we've done is opened it up a little bit. Instead of a solid, massive case, there's a display shelf underneath the main top. Even the main case is lifted up off the floor on some really nice looking legs. Now the piece is made out of alder. It's a hardwood that comes from the Pacific Northwest. It's got all the warmth and color of cherry, but is much easier to work with, so no burning from bits and blades here. Inside, the sideboard has two doors that flank a set of drawers, and those drawers run on solid wood guides. All in all, it's a great piece to create a welcoming, warm environment, whether it's for a family meal or a big holiday get-together. The plans for this sideboard are at our website, woodsmithshop.com. And we're going to kick things off with Chris, who's going to make the main case.
To begin building the sideboard, we're going to start with the carcass. And that consists of a bottom, a top, two ends, and two dividers. Then when we're all done with that, we're going to add a back with separate panels. But for right now, we're worried about joinery on the top and the bottom. So as you see, I've got a plunge router, and I am cutting these stopped dados for the ends and for the dividers. And when I get done with that, we've got a long groove on the back edge of the top and the bottom to hold the spline, which will help hold our back in. So let's cut a dado. Now these are 1/2-inch dados, so that's what I've got in my router, a 1/2-inch bit. You can use a straight bit. I'm using an upcut. The main thing is it's got to be sharp. With all the primary dados cut, it's time to move on and deal with this long plow, which is going to hold a spline, which will hold our back in place. So I've swapped out that 1/2-inch router bit for a 1/4 inch, and I've got the fence on my router. So it's a pretty easy one go. We're only going a 1/4 inch deep. One nice detail that I'd like to add to the top and the bottom is a bullnose to all 4 edges, and I'm doing that with a large roundover bit here at the router table. The ends and the dividers both have 1/2-inch tenons on each end, but they are different. Here I have an end piece, and you can see that I've cut a 1/2-inch tenon, but it's offset. To do that, I've got a dado, it's buried in the table saw, and it's a pretty easy operation. The tenons on the dividers are going to be centered. So I'm actually going to cut on both sides of the board for that centered tenon. So I've dropped my blade a little bit, and we're ready to go. With our tenons cut, it's time to form the shoulders on either side. To do this, I'm just going to use a miter gauge. I've got a wood fence applied to it, a stop block, and I'm using my dado blade. Pretty simple. Well, our carcass is going to need a back, and for this piece, we're going to have a back that's special. It's going to be all frame and panel, so it's going to look sharp. We're going to make the frame and panel using stub, tenon, and mortise joinery. It's super simple and easy and a great way to make frames. I've got a wide 1/4 inch blade in my saw, and it's super for joinery work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some plow cuts in our stiles, both sides, and a plow cut in one edge of our 2 rails, and that'll set things up for our joinery. When I'm done with that, I'm going to make some tenons on the ends of our stiles. I'm going to make the panels, and then we'll be ready to glue things up. All right, with all the parts cut for the back, it's glue up time. So pretty simple process with this stub, mortise, and tenon. Just going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue in each of the tenons and in each of the mortises. Slip everything together, and we'll have a back.